If Mars was inhabited at one time, well, what happened to the planet? Well, we know that from Atlantis, the Atlantean tablets written by Thoth the Atlantean. Yes, at one time it was almost the atmosphere and temperature of Earth. And according to Thoth the Atlantean and his emerald tablets, one of the Atlantean generals was exiled to Mars, and he was buried under a face near a plateau of pyramids where his entourage of generals were also buried with him. And also we have the ancient texts of the ancient Greeks saying that there was an interplanetary war at one point between the moon, Mars, and Earth. And according to some, from recent NASA rover findings, they believe that at one point Mars could have had a nuclear catastrophe because they found elements of thorium and types of gems that are generated after a nuclear explosion. So after studying the red planet for decades, scientists admit that there is a great possibility that even an impact of an asteroid or a comet altered the fate of the red planet compared to our Earth. Mars is full of impact craters, but that is not that strange since Mars has a very uncomfortable position in our solar system. It's right next to the asteroid belt. So because of this, Mars is constantly being bombarded by asteroids. Unlike Earth, Mars does not have a bigger moon to shield it against incoming asteroids, but it does have moons, and one of them has a tower on it. Now, looking back in history, we know that Earth has been impacted in the past by large space rocks, and some of those impacts have possibly changed the history of our planet. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. One of the best examples we know of is the Chicxulub impact crater located in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, which some scientists believe to have been the number one reason for the extinction of the dinosaurs. That happened about 64 million years ago. So if this happened here on Earth, would something similar be possible on Mars? On the red planet, we find a very interesting impact crater located in the Lyout region. It's about 125 miles in diameter. The area of this impact crater tells us just how powerful the impact was, and it could have been one of the main causes why Mars today is just a desert. This comet strike may have caused a profound disruption to Mars' planetary system. It would have been an absolutely devastating planet climate-changing event. So it is possible that long before losing its atmosphere, Mars sustained life. Even civilizations that once called the red planet their home. If so, where did the Martians go? Did they survive? Did they escape before these cataclysmic events? And is Mars connected in any way to our Earth? These are just some of the questions that desperately want to be answered. On July 20th, in 1976, after a 10-month journey from Earth, Viking 1 reached its destination, the red planet, Mars. The images of Viking 1 sent back to Earth were amazing, and some of them showed that Mars was not that different from Earth. Some regions on Mars resemble places on Earth like the Death Valley. Where the story about Viking 1 gets interesting is after it performed several tests in search for life on the red planet, and Viking 1 returned controversial results. Dr. Jill Levin designed one of the tests that the Viking probe performed, a relatively simple test. He explained that microorganisms breathe just like you or I or anything else, and then they give off carbon dioxide. What NASA did is they took a small sample of Martian soil, placed it inside a small container, and this container was monitored for a week for signs of bubbles inside of the tube, and after 7 days the unexpected happened. The test for life on Mars was positive by criteria accepted by NASA, as bubbles were registered inside the Viking 1 container. While this test returned positive for life, other tests with different criteria came up negative. NASA were very cautious on this matter and opted to say there is no proof of life on Mars. Some scientists suggest that Mars may have had an atmosphere similar to Earth's atmosphere, and it got annihilated about 65 million years ago. 65 million years ago is about the age of the dinosaur asteroid impacting our Earth. Now, adding to the suggestion, ideas have formed in the past which tell the possibility that the civilization that once inhabited Mars fled to Earth in search for refuge. So does this make us the Martians that we desperately tried to find? Some scientists say they found powerful evidence of lost civilizations on the red planet, and in fact they believe they may have discovered a nuclear signature in the Martian atmosphere that matches Earth's after a nuclear test. So this is one of the things that the rover found. And you can see that it's not far from the Sidonia Marisa area. Okay, the big one there and the other one are at the 1 o'clock position. So they believe that they may have discovered nuclear signature on the Martian atmosphere that matches Earth's after a nuclear test. And according to scientists, there are very large traces of xenon-129 on Mars, and the only process that we know that produces xenon-129 is a nuclear explosion. Is this just another coincidence that shows how similar Mars is to Earth, or does it provide evidence that Mars was very different in the past? So there's a lot more questions every time more evidence is found. This is by UFO Disclosure on Humans Are Free. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.